The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to The Weekend Podcast. I'm joined by Paddy, Pete and Steve at last. You all right, lads?
Hello.
Hello, at last.
I'm just going to say, right, people listening, you have no idea the logistical nightmare it is putting this, getting the crew together for this. I had Paddy out cycling, so I'm cycling. So what do you mean? Pete said Friday night because he's going, I don't know where he's going. Can't do Saturday. Yeah. Then Pete, you said Friday, didn't you? No answer from Pete on WhatsApp. Pete, you're the one that organised this. Pete! Then Steve said, can we start this because I need to start my dinner. I said, what do you mean dinner, Steve? He said, I need to start making dinner. I said, your dinner didn't take long. He said, I need to prep it and stuff. Prep it? Your guy lives on his own. Put it in the microwave, poppity ping, 1 minute. He said, no, I have 25 minutes prep. I said, what for? When I was living on my own, I used to have soup noodles on a jacket potato or something. And he said, well, I've got a rice cooker. And then Peter comes in then. What's a rice cooker? What do you think a rice cooker is? What is wrong with Uncle Ben's? 2 minutes in the microwave.
Yeah, exactly, or a microwave packet. I mean, what is a rice cooker?
Well, basically, my Asian friends, she basically had a go at me for using the bag, boiling the bag rice, just the microwave bag, Uncle Ben's things. And she told me to buy one of these things, and I bought it. And to be fair, it has changed my way of rice. You just get perfectly cooked rice every time. And it's
it has changed my way of rice. You said it has changed my way of rice.
My way of rice.
My way of life. My way of rice.
It has.
How much rice are you eating, Steve?
Yeah. I eat rice a couple of times a week. So, I was going for a fair few of the Uncle Ben's bags. So this is, it's cheaper. And also you get nicer rice without all the oil on it.
Right.
I'd highly recommend it.
Voiceover.
And also my rice cooker looks like Darth Vader, which is also a bonus.
Is it plugged into your voice command system?
Yeah.
No, it's not smart.
It's not Steve. So how much is a rice cooker?
About £25.
Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. And what? So you just so we do add a bit of what? A cup of water, bit of rice. Because I've never heard of a rice cooker.
And you basically turn it on. It cooks, and when it hits its when it's cooked perfectly, it turns itself off and just keeps it warm. So it just cooks it perfectly every time.
I see. It's like a bread. It's like a bread maker and one of those pop soda stream
Pretty
things.
much, yeah.
You'll have it for a little bit, and you put it under the somewhere in the shed or something.
No, I use it all the time.
Toast the rice.
Yeah. When are we starting recording?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Right. Anyway, listen. On the weekend's podcast, I was waiting around for the rice to do and Paddy to get in and Pete to resurface somewhere. So I'll write an intro here. So anyway, this weekend's podcast. Should we ease the lockdown? The Great Recovery, the crypto crash. It's all in the mind. 22 days until we become free. You only need one stock. My holding list. Am I that boring? Apple AirTags and Steve's dinner. We've done Steve's dinner. That's we moved on with that. So the next thing is the lockdown. Now, I don't know if you saw this, on Twitter I did a survey there, right? I said, studies suggest even one dose of a COVID vaccine sharply reduces the chances of becoming infected and actually spreading it on. Now, the Welsh Government, lockdown, they've started now to ease lockdown restrictions early due to new cases falling. Mark Dreyfus, have you seen Mark Dreyfus there? He said, right, I'm cancelling lockdown because the figures are looking very good due to our excellent lockdown policies. First Minister, are you easing lockdown just because there's an election coming up? Yes, I am. My ratings are cracking. I'll unlock people, let them vote. Now, if those ratings, go bad, I'll lock them back up and stop them voting. I think that's what you should do. You cannot leave your houses. I've seen my ratings; they're dreadful. You cannot leave your houses to vote, right? Until you start saying I'm good. Then we're not going to have a lockdown. But I think Boris, I said this, if the figures are good, if they're going by the stats alone, right, they say it's not about dates, it's about data. I'm looking at the data every day. It's looking very good. We have a very low instance of hospitalisations, infection rates. So I'm saying, I said on Twitter, should we actually ease lockdown early if the figures are there? And surely we should. Anyway, the results are this. Results are, let's scroll down. 200 300 odd votes here. 63% said yes, 36% said no. And I think we should go by the data, shouldn't we? Surely, not the dates.
What about the 1%? What do they?
They didn't understand the question.
Right, okay.
But that's been true since the start, isn't it? Like, if we just follow the data the whole way rather than emotion and like random, like the whole thing with this putting India on the red list, but not until Sunday. Like, why would you do that? Surely you just
in fact, it was
change it straight away.
It was Friday, wasn't it? But I thought, the announcers, everyone was shouting that India. I was always amazed why India didn't have a massive infection rate, because they've got a massive population. Some of the cities are very densely populated. You know, about 20 people living in a room or something, and they didn't have any bad COVID figures. What's going on there? And you realise the second wave or third wave. What wave are we in now? We're second or third wave?
Third.
Third, is it? Yeah. So third wave is the worst. Luckily, our vaccination program, I tweeted this out, retweeted the main guy there, 45 million people, or 45 million have been vaccinated. That's half the population in the UK now being vaccinated, which is amazing. And that's had a massive effect. Now, India, so we've done 50% pretty much. They've only done 8%. And people say, the Indian variant. No, do you know what? These vaccines are pretty much effective against all severe illness on all variants. Okay, so they get worse as the variants go on. But the fact that India haven't vaccinated anyone is part of the problem. 80%, of the people in hospital were over 80. They've all been vaccinated in this country twice. So we'll never go back to that. So when it goes by data alone, we should unlock. I think we should unlock. That's it, isn't it? It's not, rather than all stick to the dates. Let's all stick to the dates, please. Doesn't make any sense.
Send them an email.
Yeah, well.
Aren't we kind of unlocked now, though? Really?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I walked the dog yesterday. I go around this sort of estate, industrial estate, and a couple of weeks back there was the odd car parking space around there. Now, every car parking space, and people actually parking over double yellows almost, jam-packed. So most people are back at work, aren't they?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
that's
I
good,
got a train into London yesterday. It was very busy. It wasn't full sort of rush hour, but there weren't many seats, and it felt good.
Yeah. And do you see that thing today? UK is set for the sharpest economic growth since 1988. As the easing of COVID restrictions starts, and analysts have upgraded their GDP projections for 2021 amid signs that households are itching. They're itching to get out and spend. Are you itching to spend? Megan is. The missus, she's every day she's been out. And literally, sometimes I think she'll buy something that she knows is not going to work, so she can take it back and do some more shopping. She literally, no, I'm going to take this back. I'll take it back. No, it's no good. It's awful. She buys something that obviously doesn't work with her house, No, that's dreadful. I'll take it back. No, I'll take it back. And I said, you don't have to go today. She'll literally go at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. I'll take it back now. The shop shut in 2 hours. No, I'll take it back. She loves it.
She's got drama, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Is she having an affair? With the guy in the shop? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Do you know what I found funny this week, right? Investing is pretty much all in the mind, I mean, I would say not all in the mind, but I'd say 95. Well, in fact, it's all in the mind. You can't, if you haven't got a mind, you can't invest, can you? If you're mad. Buy. No, but what I'm saying is, it's funny. Last week we talked about on the market and stuff, and the fact that the share price is going down. The share price affects your thoughts on a company. It's like anything. When everyone's bearish, you see all the CNBC and Bloomberg, all that. They all talk about bearish stuff. They just fit the narrative. And you think, the world is going to hell in a handcart, and you start selling. No, that's when you should be buying. Now, this week, Paddy said, I'm not too bad about it on the market now. A couple of trades gone through at 104. I'm feeling a bit better about this. I thought, yeah, but that's the whole thing. When people, we all think, right, do you know what? I'm going to sell low, buy low and sell high. It's impossible. Do you know why it's close to impossible? Because when it's low and everyone's screaming, we're going to catch on fire, people, we're going lower. People don't want to buy then. And people say, I'm going to sell at the top next time. Every time we know this, we've seen this. We've seen people on Twitter, we've seen our guys, us saying our portfolio's an all-time high. We don't sell then because we think it's going higher. So at the top, we think it's going higher. At the bottom, we think it's going lower. So we don't sell. It's all about the mental ability. I talk about this in my investing club, Psychology, as number 9 video, I think it was, or number 10, where it's all about the mind. Absolutely all about the mind and not jumping on hot stocks. The only way to make money is buy low. That's it.
But also doing what it's sort of counterintuitive. That stock was rising, and I had that conversation on our WhatsApp group about I don't know whether I should sell or not. I haven't had conviction in that company for a little while now. I think they're a good company. I just think I bought at the wrong time, and so therefore it's going to be tough for me to see the sort of return that I'm looking for. So today it got to 10% down on what I had spent on it. And I reminded myself that actually I need to make stronger decisions sometimes. And so I sold it. And I've made a 10% loss, but I've then used that money elsewhere.
That's good. Do you know what? That is very good. Because a lot of people, the worst thing you'd ever do, now, there are people sitting there listening to this thinking, in fact, my cousin, my nephew Henry said,
Henry.
Yeah, he's in the crypto. He's in the crypto space, right? And
he's in the crypto space. What does that mean?
Well, it's basically
some Bitcoin.
The new generation of investors or traders, they're all about crypto, you know, which is a bit worrying because it's sucking funds from proper companies, proper businesses. But it will crash. And like I said, when people don't think it'll crash, it'll crash. And I've tweeted out the last couple of days now, even before last Sunday's dip in Bitcoin, I said, this is looking very bearish here. I look at the RSI on Bitcoin. I said, this has not happened. You can't forecast anything by looking at the charts. All you can say is that the RSI right now is at a level it was close to in the March dash for crash on the Bitcoin. So it doesn't look very good. And then So let me just get it. So, I said right, Bitcoin below 50,000. Okay, nearly at 30 on the RSI. Last time it crossed the 30 was during the dash for cash crash in March 2020, where it dropped by 53% in a month. And all you can say is, when that happens, it's a good chance it could happen again, because those metrics don't happen very often. So no one trying to predict the future. All you can go on is probability and chance. And it's funny. Henry sent me a WhatsApp late, and I got to bed at 8 o'clock and read a book. I switched my things off, and he said, "Should I put more into Escape Hunt, because crypto's looking a bit wobbly at the moment. It's going sideways." And I obviously didn't reply to him. I got up in the morning, and I saw that Bitcoin was down again, about another 10%. And so he said, a bit of a crash. I'll wait till I get back to break even, and then I'll take my money. Never ever think like that, ever. Because do you know what? It'll just go on lower and lower and lower. And it's like that story. I do that story about catching chickens in a cage. You got a little cage up there, and you got a little stick on the cage. You put a cage up, a little stick on, and you put some feed inside the cage, and you wait till one chicken goes in, and then another one comes in. So, two chickens in. So wait till you get another chicken in there. And then one walks out. He says, I had two chickens in then. And then two walk in. There are three in there now. Put it down. No, there's another one's coming. Look, another one's coming. Then another one comes in. Then three more leave. You got one there. I got one. Then the one walks out. You've got no chickens in there. My God, I had 4 chickens then.
Have you been to the pub again?
No. But do you know what? It's knowing, it's greed and fear, isn't it? It's not knowing. So I look at portfolio value and I think, when you are going to sell a company that's in loss, that if you look at your overall portfolio value, that's baked into that price. It's not just take the loss. If you're not happy with the company, have no conviction on it, take the loss. Just get out of it.
I was annoyed with myself that I'd let it get further away from me than that. I was, when it got to 10% down the first time, on its way down, I was like, this is the time to sell this. I'm not sure about this. So I was annoyed that I'd kept it and let it go even further. I think it was like 25% down at one point. So to get back to 10%, I was like, cool, this is the point to get out. And if it rises a little bit from here, then that's fine. And I'll keep an eye on it, because I think it's a sound company and I think they'll do well, but I need to buy at a better price.
That's it. That's exactly it. Do you know what? It doesn't matter if it becomes the next right move. And do you know what? It won't, obviously, because right move's there. But I've had that experience with Argo Blockchain, with Powers Energy, and they have gone like 3,000%. And you've got to be happy with that. You've got to be happy with the decision you make, full stop. And if you're not into a stock, or you've just lost people of patience, what I did, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't see a reason why on the market it's going to go up 6,000%. There's nothing on the horizon unless there's an acquisition, or you know what I mean. There's nothing that I can foresee that is going to change the price dramatically in the next few weeks.
I think they can do. I think they can do. I think they can do well. But let's be honest, it's a very crowded market. You see that booming come on. Booming hasn't lived up the hype of the launch, I know, and lots of people say there's not many properties on there. But just by the fact that there's a new entrant coming to the market suggests, when you've got a big player like Rightmove that's had its own way for years, of course, and the margins are like massive, there are going to be people challenging that, take some share off you, because there's plenty of share to have. And so It's very things.
Well, I saw this week. Zoopla have redesigned their app. They've got a new logo. They've got a big TV campaign on air at the moment. That's going to be costing them a lot of money. And I'm not sure On The Market are in a position to do anything similar themselves at the moment. So at the moment, but they haven't got a marketing campaign planned and ready to go, have they?
They got Jason talking and having a nice chat with his mate.
They're just not well known, are they? Because, like, for me, if I was looking for a house, I don't think... Well, it would be because obviously I invested into it, but I don't think it would ever pop into my head to go and search there unless an estate agent had told me to go and look there. So,
yeah, I suppose the only thing is, right, I mean, I was saying the strength is that exclusivity. They got to leverage that because they've got, estate agents own 65% of On The Market. Now, Jason's... I think a lot of them, before Jason came along, were just like, well, we sort of... have some shares, we can sell these if we want. But he's got to, treat them like they are owners of the company. And he is, by the looks of it. And he's saying to you have a say in this company's future. And by the looks of it, I mean, on Twitter, he's doing all these virtual town halls where he's meeting all of them, on Zoom and chatting to them and asking them questions. And so he's genuinely saying, you own this portal, pretty much. Let's have your feedback. And that's the way forward. And that way, he'll get their loyalty. And they will actually put properties hopefully, on the market. It's going to be hard, though, because... they know Rightmove's got more eyeballs, so... I think with them, almost you need to forget about the consumers, though. That's it doesn't really matter how many people look at their site. Their way of getting money is through agents. So they've got that's their client base, and they've got to try and get more of those agents paying more of a fee to start with, or more of a fee. And that's going to transform their business. Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to lie in their advertising. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
They say, we have properties on our portal that Rightmove will have a year later. Sometimes they don't even see them. They can't even pick him up. These are Ninja properties. They're called Ninja Grade. And people can't even see them. They're not even on Google Maps.
I think there's a body called the Advertising Standards Authority that might have something to say.
Yeah, but you can have that fast speech at the end.
Oh, the disclaimer.
Yeah. Some of these claims are untrue, they're false.
Some of these are completely made up.
Yeah. We are liars. I think they exaggerate that. That's what caught me in. That's what brought me into it. When I was driving a car, I remember where it was. I was turning into our road. I heard the advert on radio. In fact, I heard a booming advert on radio today. But I heard that we have new and exclusive properties 24 hours before, Rightmove or Zoopla. And I thought, okay, I'll get that up then. If they've got it before them, I want to be ahead of the queue, So that's...
One thing I'd say about On The Market, I'm still holding. And
who's rubbing their crotch on this mic? Stop doing that.
Pad.
Sorry. I slipped over on the floor.
You slipped over? No, you haven't. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. Maybe Paddy should be writing the adverts for On The Market. I slipped over. What are you just doing, wriggling around the floor? Yeah. In your bicycle shorts.
Yeah, I've just had to take them off. I'm not rubbing anything. It's not me.
Right. Okay. Have you got anything on now, Pad?
Very little. Socks.
Okay.
on your feet?
That's quite a picture. Right.
Your socks on his feet and his hands and nothing else. Go on. I'm
still holding On The Market.
Okay.
And I just think, I agree, I don't think it's going to go gangbusters, and I'm not sure I'm going to be in it for a long time. But I think lockdown easing, the bit of seasonality to do with the property market and property interest and all that, and people traditionally buying, selling a lot around this time of year into summer and whatever. So I'm just going to hopefully, I think it'll rise a bit. And then I probably will sell out at some point, but I'm not in a rush.
You never are. You are a bit slow on the trigger, Pete, aren't you?
No. Right. So that's my other point.
We had 2 points, did you? I didn't at the start. You didn't say you had 2 points.
2 points. Yes. Yes, I did. Here's my second one. It's interesting, Paddy, talking about like 10% down and just taking the loss and whatever. And what I'm doing more these days, I have to say, is I'm looking at my portfolio as just one number. It's just the top. What the portfolio is worth, and like if you think about the loss, that 10% is a loss of a stock that might be 5% of of your portfolio. So the actual loss in terms of the overall portfolio is tiny, isn't it?
Yeah, completely.
And Yeah, and so
it's made literally no difference to my portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Did you see on the Share Pickers Investment Club chat the other day? There's a guy called Jim Free. I don't want to say his entire, but he was getting a bit stressed about. He's put quite a few grand into stocks. It's gone nowhere. It's gone sideways. But he's really stressed. He's getting really depressed about it. And turns out I couldn't understand. But he hadn't lost that much, but it's just the volatility that was affecting him. Basically, he was looking at his portfolio value going down. All the stocks go up and down, and they hadn't gone. And we looked at the stocks he owned, and they hadn't gone really dropped off a cliff or anything. So it's almost like you've realised. I mean, there was a survey saying that before that say the pain of a loss is twice the times the pleasure of a gain. It really hurts because you go into investing to make money, and that's why when it hits you in the pocket, you get it wrong. It takes off the very area, the very sensitive area you didn't want it to hit you in. You want to make money, not lose money. I don't want to do that. So it's really hard to sit on a loss a little bit. But that's why I think research comes in. You have to research a company and be confident and think, I think this is a bit cheap. I can buy a bit more of this. Or if you're not, if you don't have any conviction, get out of it. So
I think the clue is in the word investment. It's not. This isn't like a fruit machine. Like you're investing in a company, and sometimes that's going to take more than a week to see a return. And the companies he was invested in all seem. I didn't know a couple of them, but 3 or 4 of them seemed like absolutely fine.
Well, he said about he's a Polarian, right? And he's gone sideways. I don't know where he invested, but let's be honest, it's not been a lot higher than 80 pence. And they're now at what? About 70 odd pence. They were there. So it's gone down a little bit.
68.
Yeah, 68.
I think maybe he just doesn't understand spreads. So he must have just bought at a time. So it must have the price may have come down 5-10% maybe. And then the spread probably didn't help him out. So, and then he's comparing the amount of money that he invested with what that would have been if he just left it in a bank account. And sure, it's going to be lower for a little bit, but I think in 6 months' time he'll be a very
I've done a very conservative spreadsheet on Polarian. I decided to work it out, and because they were saying they're targeting 100 institutions in the first 4 years. And I decided to do, let's say they target 15, so that's 25 a year if they do 100. I did 15 a year, right? And I did a multiple of 30. This is a true disruptor. And I thought by 2027, they could be £1 billion company if they did 15 a year. And I think there'd be mass adoption of their system because it's not only a disruptor and better than anything else out there, it's also an add-on to existing tech. So it's the big sort of MRI scanners and the big companies. It adds on to that, adds value to those things. So I think there could be $1 billion. And let's say if you have to wait a couple of months, it's going to rise before people. Someone said, how much do you think it'll rise if they get FDA approval? It's going to rise way before that. I don't think people understand that. Yeah. It's like stock markets look way ahead. And not only that, the power of sentiment and hope hype potential is a lot bigger. The journey is bigger than the destination. The potential thoughts, minds and potential thoughts and hype is a lot bigger than reality, And that's why I say right now, I think I'll go into escape hunters, but sentiment. I think it's going to go mad in the next week or so because we've got 23 days now till end of lockdown. Only 13 trading days in which you can buy escape hunt stock. People know they're opening back up. We're opening back up. And so we're going to rally towards that day. It may pull a little back after that. It may consolidate a little bit. But I think the rally
it will have such a direct impact?
Yeah, massive.
Why?
Because he owns half the company.
No. Do you know what? They're only 35 million market cap. I was thinking this day, I thought they're not even priced in for not even 18 sites, pretty much. And that's nuts, really.
But surely the economy reopening is. Everyone's aware that's going to happen. It's not
no. People catch on. People understand. Right? I've been tweeting out things. I'm tweeting out a countdown, right, every 5 days. When I get 10 days, I'll do it every day, right? And I've I've put escape thing in there, but I've said reopen the economy, pubs, restaurants, all, and people start realising. Hang on a sec, whoa! And the power of you watch it. If this is not 50 pence, right, in the next week, I'll eat my socks.
Live on the webinar.
I'll buy that if they're releasing RNSs on the day saying, right, our first day of trading and every site was completely fully booked. Like that makes sense to me. But
I'll bet you any money then. And do you know what? Not only that.
Hold on.
And not only that. Do you know what? Not only that, right? So I discussed Escape on the podcast with Paul Hill. Paul is very sharp, he's very good at value investor, equity analyst. And his daughters love escape. They've been to escape hunt. He's in Birmingham. He's been to both. There's two in Birmingham. His daughters really love them. He said, "Do you know what?" He said, "My daughter works for a big company." I said, "Right." They've just opened a corporate account with Escape Hunt. And I said, "Oh, okay." It's not about lockdown. He says, "Because it's a big company. They realise it's a new leisure sector, team building leisure sector, really." And so they're going that through. And I know that big game that happened just before Christmas was a massive company, and it wasn't because of lockdown. It's because this company is so big they can't bring everyone together. They can fly them around the world, but even with now climate change, they're not going to fly people around the world to get there for a team building event. They'll do it virtually. So you're getting these corporate events opening up. So I'm basing 3 million per site on just physical sites. I'm not counting digital. I'm not counting franchises. I'm not counting play at home. I genuinely, and pardon me, someone said, "How are you going to exit Escape Hunt?" And someone said, and I thought, what I'll do is it'll get to sort of £1.50 and maybe I'll sell to some fund. But I thought, hang on a sec, when they're at 50 sites, they'll be chucking off loads of cash. And I want my aim is to go from micro to mid cap. That's my aim. Pick a micro company to get to a mid cap. And Escape Hunt will do that. They've got a plan to do that. And they'll be paying dividends in about 3 or 4 years' time. I got 3 million shares. They're paying dividends. That's it. Yeah. You only need one company in your life, really, to do really well.
Surely when someone says to you, "How are you going to exit Escape Hunt?" and you go, I'll do the puzzle and I'll work
yeah. I get the clues right. I get the clues right. Yeah, it'll be funny. If you go to the board,
I'll find the crystal and I'll put it in the thing. And
it'd be funny if I said to Richard, the CEO, "Rich, I want to sell some shares." "Oh, right, you have to come in." What do you mean? You have to come in. If you can skip the maze. If you can skip the room, skip the room.
It's a really, really hard puzzle.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
You can't sell the unicorn. No, but do you know what? We all think about buying and selling and exiting and all that stuff. But if you are in a company that goes from micro to mid cap and they start paying dividends, that's the holy grail. It's paying you,
So when do we get a little look at how successful those other bits of the business have been? When are some numbers going to get released on that?
I think with any company, if you're an investor, seriously, you should look, if you got it right, and the thing is, the entry point of any investment, if you get the right price at the start, it's good, right? Like I say, you can get a good price on crap companies and do well. If you get a good price on a company that's going somewhere, you hang on. You do not give that up. And a couple of times, okay, so what levels? And I thought today, hang on, why exit? If they actually carry out this plan, I could be doing very, very well indeed of this company. So why exit? But I think, give anything, if their plan is now 20 this year, right, it'll be easier for them to acquire companies the more cash they're making, of course.
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised to see them not using this time as a land grab on acquisitions.
How do you know they haven't yet? How do they haven't?
Well, I don't know. They haven't said anything about it, have they?
They've gone from 9 sites to 18 sites in lockdown. That's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I would think that they've
doubled their estate. Hang on, what ambitious? They've doubled their estate in lockdown. That's amazing.
Yeah, and they've done very well.
Don't poke the bear, Paddy.
What do you want, Paddy? He just wants the moon on a stick with a lady singing with a bra out.
Can I finish the sentence?
Yeah.
So all of these little independent escape rooms all around the country, the ones with like really poor value goblins and people, horses with brooms on their heads instead of unicorns, like those painfully bad ones. Surely this is the opportunity to snap up a few of them.
No, they don't want those. They want high footfall. It's like anything. Location. If you can open a shop, right, where you ideally want it is where you want 1 million people walking through there a year, right? You don't want it on a backside road somewhere where you're going to get 10,000 people, 10,000 people walking out. You see that? It's all about I've been in small towns somewhere. You go to, for a coastal town, and you get some nice shops, there's local shops on the main drag, and they're doing very well. And then you find your way to the back, and there's no one in the other shops, the good stock. There's no one in them. You don't want that.
I don't know. The red light district did well in Amsterdam.
And that's definitely a backside road.
Yeah, for Steve it is. Yeah. No, so listen, Pad, they have done...
I walked past one in Windsor this week that was, it was down this little alley. It was,
Exactly.
I thought it was an escape hunt. It was called Hunt Escape.
Did you see the picture on, if you go into the chat room on the Sharepickers investment site, Sharepickers Investment Club, I should say, someone showed Kingston upon Thames. it's the main. It's taking up all the full frontage of the little shopping area there. It's the entire full frontage. Escape Hunt is. So Escape Hunt brand, that will be very recognisable. If you look at the map, right, they've only got 18, they're pretty much all over the place anyway, but it'll be a very recognisable brand in about a year's time. And they'll be taking up all these, high footfall. It'll be going like, like I said, proper cinema with lean back chairs, proper sound, or Ted's cinema where you're sitting on top of each other, old creaky wooden chairs and all that stuff, So what do you want to do, Do you want the experience or just a experience? It's up to you. Do VR, all that stuff. Boys, you're into a great level here. Do not let go of any of these shares. Honestly, funds will be asking you for shares in a few years' time. For a year, but 6 months' time. Honestly, it's one of those things. I don't understand why they're still at this level still. They should be higher than this. And I think they're still right.
Can I go back to Polarian?
Yeah.
And you were talking about it becoming £1 billion company. What was your time frame on that? How's your spreadsheet looking on that?
So 2027. So
2027.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's like that is conservative, and companies say that's conservative actually. And I said, yeah, it is conservative, but what I don't want to do is over-egg it and then be disappointed. And business doesn't run smooth, but the potential is massive. Potential is there, And this week or last month, I've really consolidated in my portfolio. I will not be saying what I've got, what I haven't, apart from the members of the Sharepickers Investment Club. I've really consolidated it to get to my strategy, back to my strategy. And I thought,
what's your cash position at the moment?
12%.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'm only going to use that cash position to top up in the companies I hold at the moment, because I realise you can tinker around, look for other stocks all the time. But you realise some of the gems are there already. And if anything, I was even considering topping up. If Fallback comes in Escape Hunt, I'm even going to top up in that. And I thought,
what are you going to do on a day-to-day basis then if you're not going to invest in any more?
I've got to have discipline, though. I've got to honestly.
We've known you for 52 years. You don't have discipline.
What do you mean? I'm getting there. I haven't sold
you bought 32 cryptocurrencies last week and then sold them the next day.
I know.
Have you sold all of those?
That's where I can. Entertain my flaky side.
Have you genuinely already sold them?
No, I made 500 quid profit the first day.
So you have sold them.
I sold that down, and then I've got. Listen, it's a penny. What is it? I got less than 0.5% of my entire liquid portfolio in crypto, and do you know what it was? It was the biggest fear of missing out I've ever had in my life. I said that in the weekly webinar with the club. I said, right. And I look at my Twitter account, I've tweeted out bearish charts. I've said, the Bitcoin chart is very bearish. But essentially, it's screaming at me, saying, you've got to buy this. It's the next gold. And so I thought, I'm going to put a little bit in. That's all. A little bit. Right. But...
what was it? Who was screaming at you, it's the next gold?
Bitcoin was.
Right. Okay. Silly Bitcoin.
No, but do you not understand? That power, right? That power happens towards the top. Everyone will be shouting at that. And that's the fear of missing out. And so, right now, if you think someone like Polarian or Escape has done well, you wait a little bit, and then when it starts really going, that's when people are buying, and they don't care about valuation. You can't put a valuation on Bitcoin. It's like 740 billion. People are still buying it. What can you use it for? Well, you can pay for things. Would you? No, you wouldn't pay for anything with it. What would you use it for then? I don't know, but it's going to go to $100,000 a Bitcoin, is it? Yeah. Guy on Twitter said, "Oh, I'll buy more than." And that's it.
I don't really have fear of missing out. It's not. I know. Do you remember Matt from Capital, Justin?
Matt who?
Devo. He's got the worst fear of missing out I've ever experienced. Like literally.
No. I don't. Hang on. Say you have. No, that's wrong. If you're saying you have fear of missing out, you're a robot.
No, but I don't have it to the degree. Like, the people who get a missed call and then call back the number to find out who it was.
That,
I couldn't give a monkey's who it was. If they never left me a message, cool, right, move on, next.
I thought you meant, fear of missing out on crypto. I don't have fear of missing out on crypto because I still don't kind of get it enough, and I don't feel... I just feels like a massive punt, and
it's just gambling, crypto, isn't it? That's what I'd say.
No, it is absolutely gambling. Paul Hill, right, is an equity analyst. He looks at spreadsheets and fundamentals and all this stuff, and he looks at discounted cash flows. He looks at enterprise value and all this stuff. He doesn't get crypto at all. We had a big sort of discussion at the start of the Friday podcast, and he said, "I can't believe," on Twitter. He said, "I can't believe you bought Bitcoin. I can't believe that." And I said, "Well, listen." I said, "You will never understand Bitcoin. Equity analysts don't understand hope, hype, potential, but they are the most powerful emotional factors that drive most microcaps, especially. But if you want to compare, now he would probably hold gold in his portfolio, but he wouldn't hold Bitcoin." I said, "Listen, young kids today are not going to buy gold. They're going to buy Bitcoin, though. So is it an asset? Is it a store of value? You wouldn't buy anything with it. You wouldn't buy anything with gold either, because gold is useless."
When would young kids ever buy gold?
No, but you could buy it through, like a fund or something. Exactly. No.
Young kids would never buy anything. Like the
no. What I'm saying is,
Bitcoin's so erratic is you got 15-year-olds buying it.
No, but people are hodling that, aren't they? Listen, but what I'm saying is, it's a lot easier, a lot accessible Bitcoin than actually, because gold was the asset, store of value. Anti-inflationary. If you want to, when you got very rich people, right, they buy gold because you don't understand. When you got too much money, you can't keep it in cash, and you have to have asset allocation. You say, "I'll buy some property. I've got enough property. I'll buy some gold." Now, when you realise that the best performing asset of the last 10 years has been Bitcoin, you've got these big billionaires, high net worth, saying to their fund managers, and the guy that say, "Have you got any Bitcoin?" Because they're reading about it. And they said, "No, we don't know, but why not? It's the best performing asset of the last 10 years. I just read about it in the Financial Times." So, okay, well, they get all this pressure, and then it becomes an asset because it's the best performing asset. Now all the funds get into Bitcoin, right? So you've got to have a bit of Bitcoin. And so it's self-fueling, and so it will, and also, how easy is it to buy Bitcoin? Within seconds, you've got it. It's there. With gold,
that's why I don't buy Bitcoin. Every time I try and buy it, it just stresses me out. So,
yeah, but you said, but the environmental and mining issues with Bitcoin are dreadful.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolute nightmare.
Well, I can argue that as well. I said, okay, well, fair enough. If you compare, look at it as an asset, it's like gold's carbon footprint. The mining has gone on with gold. The wars has gone on. The communities, small African communities, have been blown up, killed, and gold has been stolen.
The stat on Bitcoin that's amazing is that for all of the renewable energy, all these wind turbines and solar and hydro and everything that we've created over the last 20 years, all of the power that we've created for those has been used to mine Bitcoin.
Yeah. And do you know what, though? But hang on a sec. Let's not think about the past. Think about the future, right? The biggest Bitcoin mining farms in the world are in China, and they're pretty much running off, coal-based power stations. But everyone's got this 2050 carbon neutral target, even China, right? So it will innovate. There's billions of invested in Bitcoin now, infrastructure, like Argo blockchain. That's what they do, Now, if you come up with, if the Bitcoin is versus the climate, Bitcoin will lose because there's more people on the side of the climate argument than on the Bitcoin argument. So already there are now cryptocurrency coins only mined using renewable alternative energy.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us. That's the whole point. Like we've got to stop creating new sources for consumption of energy.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is,
creating energy. That's a gigawatt of power from a wind turbine. It can't be used to heat.
I know,
but
but making money will drive the innovation. You can't say just change. Because when you say something, you'll lose lots of money unless you start changing. That's the way to encourage people to change. So, where there's money being made, people will change if they have to. And so it will change. It'll have to change because you can't keep these massive, Bitcoin miners in China can't be using coal-fired power stations. So it'll change. I know you're not going to stop it, though. The only way to stop it, someone said, all right, regulation, Paul said. What about regulation, though? He said Turkey, India, and China now are clamping down on Bitcoin or cryptocurrency trading. I said, yeah, but China and India are setting up their own cryptocurrencies. To me, that validates technology. Bitcoin is genius. It's never been hacked in 10 years. And let's be honest, if you have got good hackers, there are pretty much Bitcoin miners and all that stuff.
But
those kind of people.
There's going to be a finite number of Bitcoin. So how close to finishing that the mining?
Oh no, it's years off though, because it's like it gets less and less every year. So it's
but then the environmental impact is getting less and less every year.
Yeah. Well, but no, there's other mining going on. But there's different kinds of mining. There's the Bitcoin is a finite amount. Some of them are not. They're staking. So I think it'll adapt. It'll evolve. But what I'm saying is,
but all of these crypto, that's the bit I don't get. Is like, one, obviously Bitcoin is the leader now. Why will all of these others persist? And I know Elon Musk seems to have like an vested interest in inflating prices of certain coins or whatever, but I don't understand.
I don't hold it. I don't hold Bitcoin. I hold it Ethereum, because Ethereum, it's like, I don't know, compare it. Someone said, Bitcoin is like a computer and Ethereum's the internet, you know? So Bitcoin's the first computer, Ethereum's the internet where things can be built on it. And so it's pretty much all these new applications, being decentralized applications, are built on Ethereum. So that's why I hold a bit of Ethereum. I think that's a runner. That's the internet pretty much. So, what I'm saying is, though, I bought in, someone said in the webinar, the fact you bought in, I've sold all my crypto. That's top of the market. And I thought, yeah, you're right. You're right. I said, you're right. You're
Shoeshine boy.
Yeah. I said, you're absolutely right. You're right. I bought at the top of the market, but I bought a tiny amount because I see it rolling over. But the strength on Bitcoin is so phenomenal. The RSI has been going down every new high it's made, which that means is RSI divergence. That means every new rally it's had has become weaker and weaker. It's gone higher though, and these rallies gone from 30,000 to 40,000 to 50,000. The RSI has been going down. It's been lower highs all the time. So why is this happening? It doesn't make any sense. And all of a sudden we have a sell-off. And I thought, there we are. Now the RSI is turning down and the price is turning down. So sooner or later, but the momentum and the strength on Bitcoin is phenomenal. It really is. But I said several times, to even be attractive, these valuations have to come down by 95% at least. The smallest crypto I can trade on Coinbase is worth 145 million. I have no idea what they do. And it's like, and you compare that to a real business. I thought, how you can't value that? It's nuts. And it is like that tulip mania. If you read back about the tulip mania, where everyone started buying tulips and the market crashed. I think it's like that. It's going to crash. It's got to crash. It's insane. But that's why I bought from the top.
That's the thing, going back to the whole thing about gambling. It's like, how can you pin a valuation on it? How can you get any... And I know we all love AIM stocks and we all kind of, love that kind of the excitement of that. But at least you're kind of getting some sense of valuation there somewhere-ish sometimes to kind of get an understanding of whether it's overvalued, undervalued.
Here's a good segue. Here's a good segue. Here we like this. So it's hard to put a price on the future, right? Really is. And like I said, with, EV and all that stuff, it's a massive trend. But of course, if you look at Bitcoin, it's not a trend now, because if you've got a carbon neutral that's going to affect it, then you say that's a short-term trend, actually, Bitcoin. Because unless they can adopt, newfangled energy, it's going to fall off the cliff. Now, if you look at financial reports, they are always backward-looking. The minimum, they'll be in the 3 months out of date minimum. So Trufin, TRU, announced their financial reports this week, and I thought they'd take a massive hit, because I know they did a pre-close trading update anyway, saying what the loss they'd have, but it didn't take a bit of a hit, and I think people saw a bit of potential, because you realise you have to look ahead. Don't worry about looking back. What can they do in the next year, the next 2 years, next 3 years? That's where you're going to look at, and that's why I'm surprised that even Escape Hunters, where they are now, because they're only valuing it on 12 times 3, 12 sites pretty much, without digital, without anything else. They've got 18 sites. Trufin, what I like is this is a statement you have to look at. So 2021, this is James, hopefully you can do a podcast with James. 2021 will be a year of new milestones for the group as a number of the subsidiaries move into profitability. And when you've got fintech companies, which is what they hold, they take a lot of investment to get them up and running, And he says, I look forward to updating investors as to Trufin's progress in due course. Now, they are a 65 million market cap, 17 million in cash. So if you're looking at enterprise value, you take the cash off, add the debt. Take that cash off, they've got no debt. Take the cash off, so you got, let's say it's 50 million, so 65, that's 50 million. So you got one gaming company that's going gangbusters, sold 500,000 units last year, and is going to probably Mortal Shell, going to do Mortal Shell 2. 3 fintech companies that are all at an inflection point and now about to break even, going from loss-making to profitable, and they've got one which has a deal with Lloyds coming up. And this means each company is only valued at 12.5 million market cap. I think that's Trufin's a bargain, and people are not seeing that. And I think if Lloyd's deal gets announced, people will pay attention, because that's huge. And then you get Mortal Shell 2 hopefully happening, and that's huge. But right now, I'm saying, buy on weakness. Trufin is amazing. I mean, I don't know if they're spinning anything out, but I think you got to look at that 4 companies. All
is that their aim to spin companies out? Is that the plan?
Yes, because it's a holding company. But so what happens is if you hold, they'll just pay you in cash and dividends.
And then you've got the thing with Arrowgrass, the funds.
Yeah, that's what's worrying people. Do you know what? Yeah. I'm thinking, why people, that's the number one thing people worry about the Arrowgrass. Arrowgrass, the fund that held 75% of Trufin. James, the CEO, used to work at Arrowgrass years ago. He's a fund manager there. He moved over, set up Trufin, helped set up. And Trufin then got into trouble after James left.
Arrowgrass got in trouble.
Arrowgrass, yeah, sorry. And they hold 75%. They placed 50-odd% of that at 45 pence recently. And so people are worried about the overhang. And they placed 50-odd% of that at 45 pence. They can place 20% quite easily. I don't see why. And to me, it's one of these companies. Even if there's an orderly market selling of these shares, even if they don't place them, they dump them. I'm happy that will create an opportunity. If Trufin becomes cheaper, I'll buy more of it because I think there's huge potential going ahead. So either way, I'm happy. In fact, I'd probably be more happy if they dumped it.
Why would they dump it rather than do a placing?
They wouldn't dump it. I mean, it'd take too long, be hard work. Yeah. And so what they do is the share price has risen by quite a bit. They'd probably place it. I mean, I said again, Trufin, one of the non-executive directors is from the Arrowgrass fund, so they're in constant communication. It's like they're on friendly terms. Arrowgrass wouldn't do anything to upset Trufin. They're trying.
Right. There's a lot of people with vested interest, so surely it will be placed at a decent price, not a massive discount, and it'll be.
Yeah. How would you like this then? How would you like to be announced, right, as the new Chief Revenue and Transformation Officer?
For who?
For Gfinity.
Oh.
That's good, that, isn't it? Chief Revenue and Transformation Officer. Me,
is that job
Chief.
Advertising.
Yeah, me, Chief. Transformation.
I might go for it.
What is that? Yeah.
It's done, Steve. It's not up for grabs.
It's not a job. It's not a job ad.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, well, Steve, let's say it is a job ad, right? It's you against Tom, right?
Tom,
give me a CV.
Tom.
Give me a CV. I'll give you Tom's. You give me yours. I'll give you Tom's.
How quickly can Tom cook rice?
Exactly. Here's Tom's, right? He joined from AMP Capital, a large infrastructure equity fund, where he led innovation and efficiency for his portfolio companies. Previous to this, Tom has spent 16 years at Apple, overseeing key emerging markets including India, Latin America and the Middle East, before being appointed as Global Business Operations Director for Apple. Tom has also held operations and business roles at HP's PC and printing business for 12 years in Europe and Asia. Tom will be responsible for overseeing all revenue generation and technology transformation across the company and will report directly to the CEO. Now, Gfinity is an excellent example of a share price not reflecting the business, because there's warrants in there being sold, drip feeding all the time. Every time you get a bit of a rise, the sellers sell. This will take off before the end of the year. You've got 2 now senior Apple, execs. There's no company, any company, a FTSE 100 company would love to have 2 senior Apple execs join the board, let alone an AIM company sub 40 million. This is nuts. This is nuts how this is going. Gfinity will take off. Don't have impatience with Gfinity. It's going to work out.
Yeah, you're telling that to yourself more than anyone, probably.
Yeah, no, because I get frustrated with the share price.
Yeah.
What is going on here? Because and not only that, Len, who was the previous Apple exec,
Lenny.
he brought Tom in pretty much. He's a big fan with Tom. He said,
Love Len.
And he likes Gfinity so much. He decided to say, Tom, listen, I think you want to join this. We're in the esports. It's a small company. They're doing very well. They've got all these associations, alignments. Come on board. And he has just taken Tom is there. 2 Apple execs on the board of a tiny esports company. Why isn't this show? Why? I don't understand why they didn't do 40% on that announcement. I've seen crap companies announce, sort of an association or an advisory committee member, not on the board, but, just we've talked to an Apple exec and it's gone nuts. And they what's going on here? And it's got these drip feed of the cells. That's all it is.
Part of the reason that it doesn't go mental is that people go, well, how big's his salary then? No?
But I know John, right? Clarkey. He's not an overspender. He's been very well known to cut costs. that's why he's brought Gfinity to profitability. So he's not a crazy guy on the thing. He's probably offering them some kind of options in some way. Because and Tom was saying, yeah, do you know what? I get an option as well. Len, in fact, look at Len. Len was brought on.
Good old Len.
There was 2 million options. 2 million options.
Right.
That's not huge, is
No.
it? So if you do 2 million, what are we at now? 2 million times 4, say times 5 pence. That's 100 grand.
Yes. Did you need a calculator for that?
I need that, yeah. I'm rubbish at decimal points. So.
Okay.
But so, yeah, John's not an overspender. And John is obviously, they like John, they like the business, otherwise they wouldn't come on. They see the potential. These are very very sharp guys. They're not just jump on for, saying, they can see the potential there. Massive potential, I think, with Gfinity.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating, the share price, though. It really is. Is there any other companies like a RAM that I own?
I was just looking to see what I sold Bazant Resources for.
Yeah. Don't bother doing that.
No, do it. What is it? What's the score?
Did they go up? Did they pad?
They went. Yeah, they're at 25 now.
It's a pop and drop resource stock, It's like
They're up 21% today.
It's so volatile. Do you know what?
What did you sell them at, Pad?
I sold them, half that. But it was about 3 years ago. So I don't feel too bad about it.
There you go,
hang on a sec. Listen, resource companies, right? They get positive news out there to raise money. That's all it's about, So when's the last time I raised money? Issue of equity. They need to raise money soon.
Pat, I think you hold on to the things too long. Today you were giving me grief about the Irish potato famine 150 years ago, just because I'm English.
The English have got a lot to blame for.
Okay, but let it go, Pat, yeah?
I don't understand. I don't understand where you're from, Paddy. Your name's Paddy. You've got a very southeast accent.
Exactly. But he's the most
I'm Paddy. Yeah, I'm Scottish. Yeah.
I hate English.
How does that work?
I'm just an enigma.
Right, okay.
That's one word for it.
That's one word.
Yeah. I tell you what. Talking about Apple, right? Apple AirTags. They're a big seller. They're a massive seller. I'm not joking.
Really?
I was watching. Yes, phenomenal. I was watching these. Right? They came
Phenomenal.
in. I don't know why. So I saw them announce the new Apple event. They announced like a new iMac and all this stuff and whatever. And then they came out with these Apple AirTags, which are basically tags, right? They cost 5 quid each, 29 quid. I was about to send it to Megan, right? To say these are quite good for the dog, and I've ordered 4. I said,
Should we take them back though?
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't they have to link to your phone though, don't they? So
so she said, I'm going to put one in Fred's coat when he goes to new school, one in his shoe, one in Monty somewhere. Yeah, and so you track them all.
See, there's another technology, which is it called Tile? And they've been out for a while. And I've looked into them, and they're a great idea, but they only work when they're near a phone. So they're pointless outside.
So unless your dog's carrying a phone, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't work like that. No, they track him. It's like, where's my computer? That kind of.
No, it doesn't. It does it via your phone. So your phone has to be within range.
No, but we link him to our phones. No, it goes over the internet. It does.
It doesn't.
What? No. Listen, you can't.
Near field communication, isn't it?
No, it's not. It can't be like that. Well, if you're 100 yards away, they're useless. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
That's exactly.
No, actually, to tell you, iPad, the way it does work, and I think with the Apple ecosystem, it probably works better than Tile.
Yeah.
So I think it uses other people's iPhones to transmit the data back. So as long as it's within reach of another Apple product, like a phone, which has GPRS, it'll work.
Yeah, but if their dog's lost on the moor, then
yeah, you've got no chance.
AirTags, a super easy way to track your stuff. Attach one to your keys, slip it in your backpack, and just like that, your radar. They're on the radar in Find My App.
Yeah, but
where you can track your Apple devices down, keep friends and family.
It'll just tell you the last location it was in Signal.
1 mile away, 2 miles away. Yeah, but it's like.
Are they rechargeable? How does that work?
I don't know.
Is it
the fact is, what I'm talking about is brand here, or the brand where I knew about Tile, I knew about other things as well, dog trackers. But you had to pay a subscription, recharge them all the time. And this is not like that. Just buy them one off, and that's it. So, how far can they do it? Anyway,
All right. Okay.
Anyway, we bought 4 straight away.
Right.
And I thought, you know what? Very simple. But Apple's done it very well, Apple AirTag, and it's sold it just in seconds. I'm going to buy one of those. Because how much are they? They're only 29 quid, are they?
Yeah.
I like
that's terrifying, isn't it? Well, if what you're...
No, full pack for 99 quid. Perfect.
Yeah, but like, this is literally like tracking people, and then
so is your phones. Your phones do that though.
Yeah,
I know, but
Hang on a sec, but also
I can
make
decide to not turn my phone on.
Yeah, but also you can personally engrave it. So make it engraved one for Fred called fart. You can do. No, in fact, did you see Apple do that? You can do fart on there. You can't do poo apparently. Or
Right.
engrave it for free returns. 4 for 100 quid, 99 quid. Perfect. That is excellent pricing. Bought 4 straight away. Don't know what you're using for.
Isn't the funny thing? I remember, being a kid, or when you lose keys or lose stuff, and it was always like, I wish you had a thing that you could just know, and then a beacon, that you could know where that thing was. And it's like, fast forward 20 years, 30 years, whatever. And
Megan's always losing her keys and phone, always. So I don't know if you lose your phone, is annoying. But now, even now, your app iWatch is very good. We do use that, that's...
Nice.
We use that a lot in the house. Use the phone. Where's the phone?
Well, you just better hope that when she loses her key, she loses her phone with it, so it's got signal.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she loses her phone on purpose a little bit, so you can't call her.
So we talked about stocks for me. So let's do TV recommendations or book recommendations, right? I've worked through now Peter James's books, Lee Charles' books, Michael Connelly's books, and someone recommended to me, so if you like Michael Connelly, the original guy there, the main man, is John Grisham. So okay, so I like John Grisham's books. Bloody hell, he's successful. First of all, there's a lot of detail in them, and yet, so I started off with A Time to Kill, which is phenomenal. Then next book is The Firm, which is obviously a Tom Cruise film, which made him phenomenal. And the next one after is The Pelican Brief, which is another film by another Hollywood actress, what's her name? But by the way, I was watching that, I was reading The Firm, right? And that's why I tweeted that a while back, or texted it, starring Tom Cruise. It features the Cayman Islands, And I actually looked at Wikipedia about the Cayman Islands, because I'm very interested in it. Did you know, right, it's a self-governing British overseas territory in the Western Caribbean Sea. Only 65,000 people live there, right? But there's 100,000 corporations listed there.
Yeah.
Because the government's they've got no income tax, there's no taxation, there's no income tax, there's no capital gains tax, no corporation. Basically, it's a money laundering centre. But it's a gorgeous area to live. It's British, so you drive on the left. And I thought, Meg, I want to go to Cayman Islands on holiday. It looks lovely. But it's like, there's so many, there's loads of banks there. It's like 300 banks there. It's a tiny island.
It's a whole
Dave Kelly went there, didn't he?
Who went there?
Dave Kelly.
Oh, did he?
He does a show on Breakfast Show there now.
Wow, because it's like, you go there, you see some interesting characters, billionaires, dodgy billionaires. And I just want to go there and have a holiday there, because apparently you're diving, but essentially it's for money laundering, but it's a British-owned colony. So it was a crackdown, apparently, and the CIA tried to crack down on it because they couldn't do anything about it when Obama was around. Anyway, TV, anything, I watched Too Close, that's not too bad. Dragon's Den is worth watching, this next series. Oh. Even if it teaches, I know they're annoying, even if it teaches you how the dragons value a company. The guy comes in, Irish guy.
That's the bit I find
it is annoying.
So excruciating.
But this Irish guy's silly sod. He's got this bronze Olympian with him, right? And he's got this sort of orthopedic rollers that you lie on and roll on, and they help your back. And this lady was going to retire, and she said, "Because I had so much pain, I tried these for a couple of years, and it's fine. I did it every day for a year." And Peter Jones said, "Are you paid by the company?" She said, "No." He said, "Do you own shares in the company?" She said, "No." I said, "Oh wow, that's amazing then." And so they got this guy there and said, "Can you tell me," he's Irish guy, said, "can you tell me what your gross margins are?" No, so tell me what your net margins are. He said, "Net margins about 50%. He said, "Net margins are 50%. What's your gross margins?" "About 12%. So he got the wrong way round, So, but they started valuing his business. He was turning over about 700 grand, and he wanted 2 million. So if you look at, on a multiple revenue, and he made it about 60 grand net. They said, "No, it's way overvalued. You're valuing yourself like..." And in fact, the average was, he had good years, but the average was about 500,000. And so he's valuing himself at 4 times revenue, and this is way over the top. But as a listed company, you can afford the valuation to go above that because you've got more access to capital. But it's very interesting on how they value it. And essentially, the Dragons don't take any risks, unless they got after... Unless you come in, you're a successful company with big deals with big companies, they'll take a big chunk of you. You think, why do you go on there? It's almost like you're almost there, but then the Dragons take a big chunk of you, Yeah. So it's interesting to watch, just to watch the valuation thing, I think,
I see it from their point of view where they're like, unless I own 10% of this company, I haven't got time to care.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
I'm sorry, I understand that. But then
do you know what? That's what I'm doing with my share investment club. People want to know what I'm buying and selling all the time. So I can't do that, really. So what I'm going to do, every week, if I'm 5% or more in a company, I'll show you what I'm more than 5% in. There's no point me having less than 5% in the company. I can't make any money from that, So if I'm building up to that 5%, I'm not going to show you what it is. But once I get over 5%, I'll show you what it is. Hopefully I will get up to 10% and a bit more than that. But yeah, no, you're right. They need to take a big chunk, and there's no point. These guys come in and say, I will give you, say I will give you 5% for 200 grand. And you have to do your figures. You hang on, so it's 10% would be 2 million. That's 4 million. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just not
they work out the value. They work backwards from how much they're willing to give away, and then they just, don't worry about the value, don't they?
Let's go to TV, Steve. Steve's TV. Anything, Steve, you seen this week?
No. I just started watching the Mayor of Eastwick, is it? I think it is.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that's good. I had a recommendation for that yesterday.
Yeah, I've only watched one episode. It's all right, so. But
what is it about? What is it?
It's just she's like a detective in this town. That's pretty much it, really, at the moment. She hasn't really explained much of the story.
Okay.
It's quite Fargo-y, is it?
Yeah, do you know, it has got a bit of a Fargo feel, but actually quite a bit dark. So, I'll let you know when I watch a few more.
Like?
Do you know what? Her English accent did pop out a little bit in the first episode. So it's all right. It's not the best.
Okay, Paddy, MasterChef and Line of Duty, yeah?
I see Pete, though, did watch the morning show, the one Apple Plus.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. It's good, isn't it?
I haven't quite finished it, but I
finished it the other day. It's very good.
It's good, isn't it? It's initially I just thought it was a bit like, okay.
I don't want to take on another subscription, though.
No. You get a free trial for the 7 days, and then it's like £5 a month or something.
Me and Megan, though, we start watching something, and then we say, hang on a second, just go to put the oven on, or hang on, just sit the lolly out. We watch for 10 minutes, we stop. And then so there's no way I'm going to watch that in 7 days,
No, okay.
It's £5 for 1 month. I think you
I think you can stretch to that.
Yeah, but cancel it. It's just keeping life simplified.
You know what? I'll buy it. There's a little treat there. I'll buy you a month of Apple.
But hang on, if I buy Apple TV, where do I actually have to get one of those boxes? Where do I watch it?
No, it's just on your phone or on your smart TV or whatever.
Oh, do you know what, though? My smart TV is not compatible with it.
Oh, mine is.
Mine wasn't.
The Mauritanians are good.
Well, hold on. Let's save that moment. I've out-teched Steve.
I was going to say, Steve, you need to get another TV. Your TV's half the size of your wall. Why isn't it smart?
Don't get me wrong. I've been fuming with Sony. I spent, you know how much money I spent on my TV, but apparently Sony aren't compatible. They're blaming Apple for making it too advanced in their own kind of ways rather than. Yeah.
What do you say to them? You said it's smart. It is not smart. It's thick as dogs do, right? I'm trying to get smart stuff on there. There is nothing. The only smart thing about this is the price you've charged me.
Yeah.
It's all about quality on the Sony TVs, not the stuff they put in it. Sadly, which a bit annoying.
No, it is though, Steve, because it's not even. You can't even see Apple TV on it.
No.
So how did you get Apple TV on it?
I didn't. I just had to watch it on my MacBook.
Oh,
but you can just mirror the screen though, can't you?
Yeah, you could stream out on Chrome.
No, you can't, can you?
Yeah, I sent you an app. It mirrors anything from your thing. I sent you an app on the WhatsApp.
You did show me. Yeah, Pete, you did show me that.
You can stream from your Chrome browser to Chromecast on your TV.
I don't have Chromecast.
It's always a bit juddery, isn't it? It's never good quality.
Oh, it's good. It's fine. No. But or you get a Samsung TV and you got Apple TV, BT Sport, all the rest built into it. Come on.
Just get an HDMI cable, guys. Come on.
Let's wind this down there now. Anyone got any more TV recommendations? Anyone?
Line of Duty is getting very good.
Is it?
Is it finished?
No, there's 2 more to come. No, 3 more to come.
It does stupid stuff with it. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. The police officer should have shot him.
If you hate it so much, Jess, why are you still watching it?
Just say it's rubbish. Okay. I'm going to shoot you. Put the gun down. I'm going to shoot you. Put the gun down. The cop was well within the rights to shoot that guy. He was corrupt, and he got away with it. It's fine. Why didn't she shoot him? I don't understand this.
Well, she might have done. We don't know yet.
Did it end there? Was that the last one? Was it?
They both shot, didn't they?
There's 3 more.
Oh, you know that even when that happened, I said to Megan, that was so obvious. Cutting the scene there, so obvious. And that's why I don't like it. trouble is, to appeal to the masses, it has to be a little bit obvious.
But they're not going to shoot them.
They have to end an episode somehow.
They're not going to let you see who's been shot and then go, all right, well, wait until next week.
See you next week.
That's how TV works, just.
Well, you don't know, Steve. You haven't got a smart TV. How do you know it? You didn't even know how your TV worked.
This is very true.
Right, lovely. Any plans for weekends, boys? It's near lockdown.
Yeah.
Any plans for weekends at all?
I'm building a bathroom.
Wow.
Where?
Yes.
Where, Steve?
In the bathroom.
In the garden.
You're building it in the bathroom. Well, there's one there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's coming out. And
I got another one inside it. A bathroom in the bathroom. So go in there. Go and have a look in there. I've got 2 bathrooms in there.
Oh, that'll be fun, Steve.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Yeah. Bathrooms are good.
Yeah. Right, boys. I think that's enough. Is it really?
Yeah.
There's plenty. Absolutely plenty.
Right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.